Since that day you saved my life, I have presumed I knew you. But now, 1,000 letters from your father go unopened, yet one scribbled from your sister changes everything? I didn't even know you had a sister. We are broke, old pal. We can't afford a passage back to your old world, back to your family. Not unless you suddenly remembered what work is. Dynamite fishing? You're serious? Well, the village north is always short on food. Remember when we escaped the pits back when? Still some dynamite left. Here it is. Just get... Don't look at me. Dynamite was your idea. All the blistered fish they could ever want.
Oh, what the chimichurri was that, Boom?
You do have an eye for opportunity. After all, it's not TNT the locals are short of. Still trying to get used to that smell of char. All the blistered fish they could ever want.
Ah, that burnt reek. Ugh. Hand over whatever it is and I'll help you get rid of it. Here are your tickets. Hurry, drifters. The boat is leaving soon, and nobody wants you to miss it.
So, this is it. We're leaving paradise behind. You never talked much about family and the like. But you're dead serious about this, aren't you? No matter. I made a vow to defend you, and I don't break an oath. Even if a blind man could see you leap into the deepest pit of dung.
I have never asked anything of you, firstborn. Not when you stole away a tiptoe, leaving the family burden at your little sister's door. Our father is accused of high treason. Dare you to believe it? Will you now stand by, knowing gentle father is indungeoned? It must kill him. Please come home. We need you. Is it really you, dearest sibling? I never dared hope you'd return. Do you remember Bright Sands? Of course you do. We loved it here. It's changed now. The Royal Council support Uncle Edvard. Father barely cold, and he's pulling everything down.
All those houses. You never said how wealthy you were. Why were we selling fish and sleeping in barns?
Never told your friend of Good and Sons? There is much to be said, but not now. Dear father's funeral begins.
Where have you been? Without you brats, we'll never be done with this obligation.
Looks like Death claimed the wrong brother.
No matter, so few are here, when they are the few he loved most.
Nobody likes a traitor, let alone his tainted offspring. Better make yourself scarce.
We shall, dear sibling, for now. I have acquired a small island with the last of my funds, and passage for all still loyal to father. Together, we shall clear his name, or die trying.
Your sister reminds me of you. Must mean new adventures await, old pal.
This is it. Ditch water. End of the world. I hope you like it quiet.
What? Still here? Establishing a rival company on that disheveled island?
I present my humble duty to you, and am confident you'll transcend your present circumstance.
Know what Annie does with royalists? We dunk you full of fish.
Her Majesty leans on me to detain any who defile her sovereign laws, including you.
The Emporium Exotique looks forward to your patronage, if you can afford it.
We must shelter the good, loyal people who have shown solidarity with our family. We need every hand we can get if we are to expunge this debris.
You reached a new milestone. Do you remain here out of spite? Or is this some futile attempt at competition? As you are so desperate to appear responsible, you'll be pleased to hear the cost of that fantastical funeral falls to you.
Miserly, uncharitable dastard! Picking and choosing what he inherits. Timber, very good. I'll try not to think of the coffin.
We put our love into this.
See what slander Edvard prints in bright sands.
Samuel's child, is it? Thank heavens. I am so ashamed of every single word your uncle had me print.
He twists every article in his favor at our and father's expense.
Your city has grown uglier. Your city has grown more beautiful.
We make the best of what we have. You need a warehouse, you do.
Father wouldn't have wanted us to sit on our hands while our one prospect was in such a state. So let's gather our townsfolk and ask them to spruce the place up. Mourning is eased, now we have others for company, sibling. It's been a hard day of labour for us all. We should cater to our tired, hungry people.
You reached a new milestone.
Help enough to demolish the larger ruins. Let's breathe some life into this place. Everything you've built so far consumed wood. We'll be needing more of it to continue.
It's been a long, hard day. The people need to rest and maybe wet their whistles.
You can't make better what's already gold. Fancy making hay while the sun shines, master?
Barns filled with owls. We must have dormice.
I'm not going to say I didn't think it possible.
Feels an eternity since the funeral. And the cost! Oh, why, it was extortionate. Repay me now, or sell up.
I feel sick to the stomach that Edvard could ask so much of us so soon after Father's death.
Ready to...
Competitors have reached a trade agreement.
Your people are recovered and desirous to proceed. Set them to it. We're going to need as much space as we can clear.
Ready to repay my charity? Don't think you're finished, brat. I loathe the reek of lanolin, but if farmers' smocks are all you have...
Is there no limit to Uncle's shameless demands? Speak to our humble cousin. He writes of a worker riot in Bright Sands. It seems we are not alone in our contempt for Edvard.
We all like a nap in the orchard.
Keen as a three-legged goat.
We all like a nap in the orchard.
We'd rather die than stay. Our flags still wave for Samuel. Let Edvard oppress us no more. Fire runs wild. Fight this inferno fast.
A life away from Edvard? We're on board. Only we've no ship to get on board of.
If you pick me, you may have my boat. It's my poor aunt's legacy. Her second husband was a decent sailor. To meet our patron is utterly humbling. If there is anything I can do, anything really, imagine it, and we can do it. Everybody on board? Good.
What? Has your cleft of the family no shame that it now resorts to abducting my workers? The Queen's ambassador himself shall hear of this.
Abduction is a severe accusation.
And if I may, excuse me, a false one. We left Edvard quite willingly.
Pencil polishing popinjay. I should have been rid of you long ago.
I see nothing criminal. A bit of interfamilial bickering is only natural, and hardly a matter for the crown. And as for you, I have quite forgotten my manners. Sir Archibald Blake, ambassador and confidant to the Queen. Despite the circumstances, Her Majesty and I were pleased to hear of your return. Your father's death was a tragedy. We regret he never had the chance of a fair trial.
The real tragedy here is the vast funeral bill that goes unpaid, while this brat is living the life of O'Reilly.
Sadly, your uncle has indeed alerted me to some floating liabilities. I fear you have no choice but to settle them if I am to grant you your crown shipping license.
Edvard registered the debt officially.
Don't worry. That old tyrant can't hold us back anymore.
Indeed. Once my letterpress is up and running, the truth will come back to haunt Edvard. For your hospitality, please use my ship howsoever you may wish.
Now that sounds like good news.
As to the debt, my hands are tied, but it may warm Her Majesty's heart to see a new enterprise taking shape.
Maybe Edvard will try to prevent us owning a shipyard, but for now, let's at least house those workers.
You reached a new milestone.
With several passionate young reporters enlisted, our publishing house is already well underway.
Honest work, that's all we ask.
I love the fire service. They help me a lot.
Our dream of a shipyard is impossible without plenty of qualified hands.
I give the orders, matey, or you'll lose your coke.
Thank the ickle bickle barn mice.
Fancy a day after work.
Is the belt running faster than usual?
No slacking. Tell me you've managed something. Ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 4 bags full.
Perhaps I was wrong to think rushing ahead tactless.
Leapt ahead? What's your trick?
I'm happy as a sandboy. Will you build us another castle? Will you work your magic for us? What we do so love to see?
Looks like the shoots need...
A little love is all we ever wanted.
I have discovered some inefficiencies we ought to address.
Our editorial section is sure to grow along with your city. We are fine-tuning the first issue as we speak.
No space left here.
Eldest, you outdo yourself.
How do? Fields might help. Their blood'll beat while your heart still does.
Like your father. Well, the Queen is in the direst need of ships. Supporting her will go some way to healing the wounds of the past.
A commission for the Royal Fleet, and in such quantity. A rare honor indeed. The weaponry they ask for presents a problem. I'm not even sure we have an iron load, do we? I see the iron is beyond our reach. We have no choice but to find a way through the mountain.
Still have a few sticks of dynamite. We can blow our way through. Perhaps not refined enough for your sister, but at least your workers can start their dig.
What are you both doing? Demolition is a serious matter wanting proper expertise. Father used Mr. Ticker on account of his good sense. Go on. I suggest you find him in Bright Sands.
Ship constructed.
New orders?
After the picket protests, many fine men left Bright Sands to join you. Then Edvard struck back. He imprisoned all who were close to your father, including my beloved Thomas. My husband and the others were deported to Wormway's prison, and I've heard nothing from him ever since. If you do find him unharmed, prithee tell him his wife yearns for his return.
We are nearing the place your father died. Whatever happens, stay calm.
So there you are, the traitor's children.
How dare you?
Oh, spare me the nauseating drivel. Flogging Queenie's Peachy Island in the New World to some rebel upstarts? Ha! Traitor is too generous a word.
He was the Queen's stalwart, a member of the Royal Council.
He hung himself in one of my cells. I'd call that a rather conclusive admission of guilt.
We did not come here to be insulted. We came to strike a bargain. The demolition man, Thomas. We want him.
Oh, I vaguely remember him. Stubborn, with a loose mouth, just as innocent as all the others. He is small fry. A bail has been set. Pay every penny of his money, and I will place him immediately at your disposal. I can't think why he'd be worth anything. Everyone here is beyond redemption.
Production has stopped. Ship constructed.
Farm? We know.
You can take all the credit for any finds I make here. expected.
Samuel Goods, engineer? Aye, that's me. Who's asking?
Days, months, years. I've no
That's the least I'm due for my suffering. He is ready for transportation. Keep an eye to the horizon for mystery.
Attention for the Admiral.
You've only gone and done it.
He's here. Try to make a good first impression, eldest. Any friend of father is a friend of ours.
Perhaps this island is as yet unclaimed? I fear I do not represent my people well.
So, I'm a commodity now, to be bought and sold. Your father treated me like a human being. I don't know what you're trying to achieve here, but it won't bring Samuel back. Done. Mining for you, mining for Eli. What's the difference? Bright sands will never be matched, if that's what you're set on.
I'm still waiting for the boom.
done.
Who are all these busybodies? Blowing up rocks can't be that complicated.
A shame you can't appreciate the craft this requires. Never mind. The charges have been primed, the perimeter cleared. We are ready to detonate. Boom.
My apologies. That was indeed impressive. Is there anything dynamite won't solve, I wonder?
A special edition for a special happening. This makes everybody happy.
Iron into steel, steel into arms, and we shall have fulfilled our first royal commission.
The fire is out of control.
You reward our hard graft.
Assuredly, she's a fine thing.
The fire left ruins behind.